What is going on, everybody? This is Frank with Frankly Collecting, and I've got an update for you on this Yuffie Full Art special card that I talked about in my last video, and I'll put that video up here at the very end so you can go watch that with my original price prediction. Now, I had predicted in that video that it would be desirable around $1,000 for me, and not more than that, although I did not feel like it was going to stay under that for very long. I feel very bullish on this card. I want to give you an update on the prices of this. We've had a lot of action, a lot of movement since that last video I made. Right now, there is a listing on eBay for this card at $2,000. Now, I was following this same listing before, and the seller had it at $1,500, and then they took it down to $1,400, and then I woke up today and looked, and it was at $2,000. There is another auction currently on eBay with the card being under $1,000, at least at the time of making this video. I am bidding in that auction. However, if you go to TCG Player, it says sold for $1,000. It hit $1,200, and then someone bought one for $1,000 after that. So it hit my predicted price for this card pretty quickly, and it remains to be seen, where that auction that's currently going on eBay is going to end up, and if this card will be able to hold above $1,000 and potentially even move up. Now, this is not something I expected to happen at all, and I wanted to really warn everybody to exercise caution at this point with this card. It's moving very, very quickly. The set has not been out enough for us really to understand how much of this card is going to be out there. It's the first time that the Final Fantasy TCG has had a card like this, and it's really kind of hard to know the supply on these booster boxes. Now, here's where I really think you should be careful. Now, although this is the first one like this, that will help it demand a premium. But remember, there probably are going to be, I would guess, another card like this in the next set and going forward if Square Enix sees that this is successful and wants to continue doing this. Now, I would guess that when they came out with this card, they chose Yuffie because she's a popular character, but she's not like, S tier, right? She's not Cloud or Aerith or even Yuna or something like that, right? Yuffie's a really great character. However, I mean, this set's already super strong. I feel like they wanted to kind of test the waters a little bit and really hold those big guns for a future set. So that's where you should really be careful, because if this card is going to be going for more than $1,000, rest assured they're probably going to have a bigger hitter character at some point in the future. And imagine what that's going to demand. So you have to consider, is it worth it to you to go in now where there, I feel like, is a lot of hype and FOMO happening around this card, or do you want to kind of hold back a little bit and, don't tap yourself out, right? If they're going to have like a Cloud, or, I would love to see like Titus or a Yuna or Riku, right? More than Yuffie, because I'm just a huge fan of Final Fantasy X, or even some characters from Final Fantasy 12. I really want this card. I still will try to get it for $1,000. But beyond that, you want to be wary of tapping yourself out. No matter how much money anyone has, we all have limited funds at the end of the day, and you have to make choices about what to get and what to let go. So do you want to, be careful of overpaying for this? Do you want to overpay for this out of FOMO? If you're like the biggest Yuffie card fan in the world, huge Final Fantasy VII fan, maybe it'll be worth it to pay up for this card right now. But if you're not really sure and you're just kind of looking at all the hype around this card and kind of falling into that hype, it might pay to be cool right now and maybe hold those funds back. Just keep saving and wait for to see what comes in the next set or the next set after that. I know it's going to be really difficult, waiting through the holidays and into next year for the next set to see what kind of card would be out. But I know personally, I would hate to have $1,000 that for this card set aside and then not be able to spend that much again for some time, and then seeing something like, a Riku or a Titus from Final Fantasy X come out with a signed version and be like, oh man, I wish I had that extra money I spent on the Yuffie to be able to go after this card. So just wanted to kind of put my 2 cents out around that. If you really love this card, get it for you. But if you are potentially speculating, or you're kind of at risk of falling into the hype going after this card, it's okay to use caution or have a very good specific price target that you are very deliberate with. For me, I am keeping my price target around $1,000. I might go a little bit above that, seeing the prices that have happened now. However, I'm still not going to be looking to pay $1,500 or up to $2,000 unless this card is like a CGC 10, a pristine or perfect or something like that. I think perfect would probably go even beyond that. Simply because as much as I love Yuffie and Final Fantasy VII, there are other characters and other titles in the franchise that I do like more, and I want to be careful that I can hold back for if one of those more favorite characters come out in a special card form, so I can then go after that. Okay, let me know what you think this card is worth down in the comments below. Are you going after this card? Make sure you keep track of this activity up on TCG Player over on eBay. Follow that auction. If you look up Yuffie Full on eBay, you'll find an auction going currently right now for this card. It is under $1,000, but I'm really anxious to see what it ends up at. But I believe it's kind of a long auction, so a lot could happen in between. Hey, if you enjoyed this video and you got a lot of good information out of it, it was valuable to you, please consider liking this video just so it can spread to other potential Final Fantasy TCG fans, and so that they can help find value from this channel as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Thank you.